Hello, welcome to our Cybersecurity Series. Today I'm going to talk about complex long passwords and multi-factor authentication and why this is important as one of the requirements that your organizations should enforce to be cybersecurity compliant. So just get into it. Password length and complexity, super important. You want to have at least 20 to 25 alphanumeric characters for your passwords, unique passwords for each application you log into. Additionally, you also want to have multi-factor authentication as well. Now, in order to do this, it's almost impossible for us to remember our long complex passwords, and people write them down on pieces of paper or they put them into an Excel or a Google Sheet, and really the best solution is to use a password manager. We use keepersecurity.com, but there's a variety of password managers out there. What's really important is that they also do the multi-factor authentication as well, and I'll get into the reasons why in each one of these slides. So long passwords, we can see here how long it takes to crack a password with varying levels of complexity, and also the number of characters here on the y-axis. So if you have a 10-character password that's numbers only, there's a good chance it can be cracked instantly. And where people usually go is to like an Office 365 account. So if they have your corporate email address, then they can simply use a computer to try and brute force it. So just try password after password after password to try and get into your account. And obviously, as you are adding more levels of complexity, then you can see that it takes longer for them to try and crack the password. So in our company, we actually enforce 25-character password length and complexity. Again, it makes it really easy because we're using a password manager. But here's why it's really important is that people are using computers to try and brute force a variety of different passwords to get into your accounts. And if you're using, so that's why it's important to have long and complex passwords, is that it just becomes too much work for someone to try and get into your account. All right, next slide here. So, sorry, my image isn't going to quite fit in here, but you have to have a unique password for each application. So here's an example of some unique passwords that my password generator created. These are not my passwords, all right, just to be clear. But you have a unique one for Office 365, a unique one for QuickBooks Online, a unique one for LinkedIn. And I just put a little image of my password generator here, where you can see you can have a checkbox for the type of complexity you want to add to your password, and then you have a little bar to delineate how many characters are in that password. And the reason this is important is some applications can't handle special characters, so you'll deselect that checkbox in order to get your complex password. So just something else that's really important is the unique password. So if let's just say you had a festival website here, and I don't have an example, and you're using the same password for all your applications, and that festival website got breached, and then your complex password and your email address was sold in the dark web, whoever buys it now has access to all your applications because you've used the same complex password for all your applications. So that's why you really don't want to be giving them access to your other applications. So that's why unique password for each application is so important. Multi-factor authentication. So I'm actually just going to I'll explain what it is. So in addition to the unique password, you'll also get a random 6-digit or 7 or 8-digit number that's generated every 60 seconds as an additional layer of security. So if someone does get your complex password in whatever way, through a third-party website or what have you, they would also need that code then to allow them access into your application. So it's another level of security, super important. And I've put another screenshot from my password manager where we've got the email address, the password, the website address, and then we've got the multi-factor code that is being randomly generated every 60 seconds. So it becomes really easy then for me to have complex passwords and multi-factor authentication and to manage the access to all my applications. It is a little bit of extra work to set it up, but it's really worthwhile for keeping you cyber secure compliant. The next slide, we're just going to quickly talk about types of multi-factor authentication. So you can have an app on your phone like this. Like this slide suggests. You can also get a text message, or you can have a password manager. So if you deal with CRA, when you log into your account, you can set it up so you get a message sent to your mobile device. We do not recommend this as a best practice. The reason being is that hackers can use social engineering to convince customer service reps at Rogers or Bell or any other sort of telecom company to potentially migrate your phone number to another SIM card. Once they are, and I've seen this done live in a demonstration. Once they've done this, then the hacker, if they have your long password, they have now transferred your cell phone number to another SIM card. So when the multi-factor authentication comes up and the SMS is sent out, they receive it, they enter it in, now they have access to your account. Okay, so not a good thing to do. Next best one is app on your mobile device, because you need your mobile device then to actually enter in the 6-digit code. The downside of this is that if you ever lose your phone, you then have to go reset up all the multi-factor authentications for all the different software applications that you're logging into. So we always recommend a password manager. So if you lose your mobile device, you just need to have that one long complex password to get access to the password manager, and usually another MFA as well. So there'll usually be an admin on the account to help get that set up. But the MFA for all your various applications is held in the password manager. So you only need to really set up one to get access to all the other ones. So that concludes our quick video on passwords managers and multi-factor authentication and why it's so important. And hopefully this helps you out. It's definitely one of the biggest things we recommend companies and users do is do all these steps, use a password manager to make sure you're compliant, and then you can sleep a little bit easier at night. And this is obviously one of a variety of things that need to be done for cybersecurity. We follow the NIST 800 framework put out by the US organization. All right, thank you very much.